everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina. I'm back with another Stampin' on Friday episode. Today's stamp set, we're going to be using this Paper Tray Ink Heart to Heart number 5 stamp set. And I really just love this little banner here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do something I normally don't do, which is a 5.5 inch by 5.5 inch square card. I usually will do a 4 1/4 because I know it'll fit into a regular envelope, but I'm okay with, I just wanted to try something different, so I'm just grabbing my score pal here to do the scoring line for my card. So my card base right now measures 11 by 5.5, so I'm going to score it at 5.5. And I'm using some Nina Solar White cardstock. So that's my card base. And then I cut a piece of Paper Tray Ink's Sweet Blush cardstock at 5 inches. I just wrote it on there so I remembered what the measurements were. And then this piece of pattern paper, which comes from this Autumn Press Studio Calico paper pad, 6x6 pad. And I love the colors in here. A lot of fall colors, but there's a lot of other colors that you can use for other occasions. So that is that piece right here, and this measures 4 3/4 inch square. Then I have a piece of another piece of the Sweet Blush. This measures 3 3/4, and then another piece of white, which measures 3.5. So I'm going to take my 3.5 inch piece, and we're going to start by doing a little stamping. And I'm going to use, I want to use a fairly light colored ink. So I'm going to see, I don't know if my vintage cream here is still any good. I've had it for a very long time. I don't know if it's dried up or not. This is one of the older ink styles. So what I'm going to do is I'm just really using this for a guide. So I really don't need to see where it's going. But I do need it for reference. Like I said, so that really is just my guide. Now I'm going to take some glossy accents because I'm going to use some of the Paper Tray Ink rustic twine to do my little banner strings. So I'm just going to use my glossy accents and trace right along that stamp piece there. My glossy accents is a little clogged, so I need to open it up. So I'm just going to take that piece right there. Just adhere that down. And then I'll trace this other line here. And do the same thing, adhere the twine to that. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this to dry. I'm not going to cut off the ends until I know this is pretty dry. So I'm just going to set this aside, and we're going to start working with our stamped pieces. I took the die that comes that you can purchase to go with that stamp set and just cut out my little triangles here. So I have the 4 of them cut out, and I'm going to be using some Sweet Blush and Pure Poppy ink. And I have my stamp set right here. So I'm going to start off with my Sweet Blush. There's my one stamped image. And I'm going to just switch this out for my next one. And then I have one more I'm going to do with the sweet blush. And this is an outline of the triangle shape. So I'm going to stamp that one out. Just like so. And then I'm going to switch over to the Pure Poppy. And I'm going to use this one that has a little heart kind of center. There's that. And then I will take, there's a little tiny heart in the stamp set, so I'm going to take that and stamp it right in the center of this outlined one. Just like so. Alright, so now that I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and start putting my card together. This should be pretty dry, so what I'm going to do is just trim off these little extra pieces on the side here. And then I tied some little tiny bows with the twine, and those are going to go on each end. So I'll glue those down there. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and pop these on here. I'm going to use some of my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals for that. So my one with the heart is going to go right in this section. I'm not going to really push that down until I know that it's in the right spot. That should be good. And then I have my two more pieces here. My Pure Poppy is going to go right here. And then my last one is going to go right there. So I think I'm going to move this one over a little bit. Okay. And then I'll adhere that to my Pure Pop, or my Sweet Blush cardstock. So let me just get my ATG gun here. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. My sentiment, I'm going to use some Jenny Bolin Brown Sugar ink, and I'm going to be using the Celebrate Today and Every Day. So I'm going to start off with my Today and Every Day and put that on first. I'm going to stamp that right here towards the bottom. And then Celebrate will go right above that. Just like that. So that takes care of that part. Let me just put the ink on the top there. I'm going to go ahead and start putting my card base together. I'm going to first start by putting my pattern paper on my Sweet Blush cardstock. And then I'm going to take some of the Sweet Blush satin twine, or satin ribbon, sorry, twine, not twine, ribbon, and tie that around the top of my card. And we're just going to tie this into a bow. and I tied it upside down. I noticed that for me personally, I tie my bows better when I'm tying them upside down. I don't know why that is. It's just something I noticed that they seem to come out better for me. So I'm just going to tighten that up. It'll go right there. And then I'm going to take my Celebrate Today, and that's going to go right down in the corner. And I'm just going to move this up a little bit towards the top. Celebrate Today is going to go down in the bottom corner here, so I'm just going to use some dimensional adhesive for that. So I'm just going to use my glossy accents to adhere my little bows that I made out of the rustic twine. And then this will get adhered to the front of my card, because my glossy accents is still wet, so I'm just going right to my card base for that adhesive. So I'm just going to center this right in the center of my card. And that's my card for today. Thanks for watching another episode, and I will see you next time.